It's Joe Bear here, and this is the Nerf Ultra Challenge.
Me and Eddie have got experience. We used to play this when we was younger.
I'll let the blaster do the talking.
Wow, this guy's performing. Oh, there you go, mate. There you go. Come on, Eddie. Oh! Right, let's go. All he's got to do is blast through. All right, he's on to the next one.
So odd start.
Okay, look at the stance.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to the preview of Arsenal against Chelsea Boxing Day special. Now, a massive shout out to Nerf for who are sponsoring today's video ahead of this massive game. And of course, Nerf did team up with Arsenal and Chelsea. And in particular, Eddie and Ketia, Kieran Tierney and Bukayo Saka. And they put them through their paces with the Nerf Ultra Challenge. With the Nerf Ultra 1. I'm sure you've seen me with that yourselves in one of the recent watch-alongs on AFTV. And you've seen a little piece there with a video beforehand exactly what happened. But if you want to find out exactly what happened and if we actually won something, then get yourself over to the description because the links are there and you can go and get yourself involved. But now, let's go and talk about the real challenge ahead. And whether we can actually win a game. Now, before I start with the preview and the predicted lineup, as most of you will be aware, there's been no videos from me for the last few days. That's because I've been under the weather. I have not been well ever since our game against Manchester City, in fact. And I know a lot of people will be sitting there and saying it's coronavirus and all of this kind of stuff. Well, due to my medical condition, I do have regular coronavirus testing. I have just had another coronavirus test and I'm waiting for results. And I did only have one around about a week and a half ago, and that was negative as well. I just simply believe that I'm under the weather and that I've got a simple cold, which everybody picks up. But with it being the way that we are in the world that we live in, the moment you have a cold or a sore throat or anything of them, kind of things, everyone seems to think it's the worst. So the safest thing for me to do, not just for my family and myself, but for obviously everyone that I work around on AFTV and stuff, the best thing to do is go and get the test done so we know one way or another. Now, what that will mean is that I will not be on the AFTV watch-along for this game against Chelsea. But don't worry, you can still see all of my reactions because I'm going to be doing my own watch-along on this channel right here. So you can catch me at home watching the game and maybe throwing a few things around the house. Maybe in celebration. Wouldn't that be nice if we could actually celebrate something? What a belated Christmas present that would actually be. To actually win something. Can't remember the last time we won a game. I can actually. It was Manchester United, wasn't it? But listen, this is going to be a massive, massive game. I've seen all the advertisements leading up to it, and I swear everyone's taking the mick. They're posting pictures of Willian in his Arsenal kit and Olivier Giroud in his Chelsea kit. And you're looking at it now and you're thinking, my God, wouldn't you like to swap those two around? Don't get me wrong, Olivier Giroud, for me, was not good enough for this football club. I'm sorry, but he wasn't. He's one of the main reasons why Mesut Ozil never broke his assist record by Christmas. And he went nearly 20 games without a goal in the season that Leicester won the league. And yeah, I still remember that game against Monaco in the Champions League. And don't get me wrong, he's a good striker. Is he elite? Not for me. But, we'll have debates about that until the cows come home, as they say. But we're going to have to keep an eye on players like him. And of course, there's plenty of other players that Chelsea do have at their disposal. The likes of Timo Werner now going through a bit of a goal-scoring drought. And then he comes up against Arsenal. You can just kind of picture the scenes already. Kai Havertz has not had a great start to life in the Premier League. Doesn't take away his quality and what he's about, but he's finding it difficult to adapt. And a lot of players do. As an Arsenal fan, we should know all about that with Nicola Pepe. And we're still finding that out now. So, yeah, you're going to have to be so careful. Mason Mount, dangerous player on his day. Of course, you've got the likes of Ziyech. And I wanted him at Arsenal. I wasn't the one, remember that. Because there's some people that do get this twisted in saying that it was me that reckoned that Willian was better than Ziyech. No. It was in the podcast with Robbie. And then he said it. And he's already said, and everyone knows that he said it. I was just there. I had no partake in any of that whatsoever. Rated the guy so highly when he was at Ajax. And he's the kind of winger that we need. But yeah, Chelsea have got, players all over the pitch. But the thing is, what I will say about Chelsea is that I've watched them this season. And I've been a little underwhelmed with some of their performances. And, I think it's pretty well known and covered now that they've not beaten anybody within the top 10 this season. It's probably why they're going to have a big chance against us, because we're not in the top 10. But whenever they come up against sides, and it becomes difficult, they kind of fall apart a bit. And some of their recent results over the last few weeks have not been great. And they've been picking up a few defeats in there as well. But they're in and amongst the mix. And, they're one of the teams, given how unpredictable the Premier League is this season, that you've got to look at and say if they can pick a run together, they would be title favourites. I don't think they will be. I stand by what I said before the season started, that Frank Lampard, for me, will not last long at Chelsea. With the amount of money that they spend and are able to spend, Roman Abramovich is the type of owner that will axe you very, very quickly if it's going wrong. Jose Mourinho won the league the following season. He was all over the place, and Chelsea were in a similar situation to what Arsenal are now. Mourinho was gone. Bye-bye, out the door. You think about Di Matteo that came in, interim manager, won the Champions League, following season, not good enough, out of the door. He doesn't care about the name. And the problem with Chelsea now, and what their fans will realise, is that when you spend the kind of money that they have, you've got to be challenging for titles and Champions Leagues. So I feel that if Chelsea, for example, don't finish in the top 4 this season and don't win the Champions League, then Lampard may well be out of the door, because that will be considered a failure. But it's going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting what happens. When you look at our previous games against Chelsea between Arteta and Lampard, I would say that Arteta's got the edge. Let's be real about it. The first ever matchup, Arteta was a week into the job. So if you're being really honest, it's not really a fair comparison given the fact he had only been there a week. But for 80 minutes of that game, we were the better side and we should have won that game. Jorginho should have been sent off. Leno made a horrendous mistake and Jorginho ends up equalising. And then a lot of naivety within the team, trying to chase a second goal and get the win. I'll leave ourselves exposed, and Tammy Abraham scores and makes it 2-1. And then the second time round, we go to Stamford Bridge very early in the game. David Luiz gets sent off, backs against the wall, go 1-0 down, pull it back to 1-1. And then with about 5 minutes to go 2-1 down. And we still managed to pull it back and get the draw. So a very, very good point given the context of that game. And then, of course, last time out was the FA Cup final. And we completely and utterly dominated Chelsea. That was an immaculate performance. And we won the game quite comfortably, to be honest with you. Chelsea did go down to 10 men. But I felt that they should have gone down to 10 men a lot sooner than that. With Azpilicueta for the penalty on Aubameyang. But that was just a brilliant day all round. So I think that when you pull it into the balance, there's one win apiece. and a draw in there as well. But have we ever really been dominated by Chelsea in those 3 games? No, we haven't. But listen, we're in a different situation right now. We're in a bad situation. And our backs are against the wall. And we're in a kind of, place at the moment that I never thought that I would ever see Arsenal be in. And it's a mess. A big mess right now. And Mikel Arteta's got to start getting victories. It's as simple as that. The board can back him. And fans like myself will back him. But if you keep picking up defeats, then how long can that continue? We've got 2 more games to see out this year. And if we can pick up 3 points in this game, it would be absolutely massive in the bigger context of things, moving forward and everything else. So it's going to be a very interesting game. And I'm actually looking forward to it, to be honest with you. I'm actually excited about it. And the team lineup's going to be very, very interesting. I don't know what he's going to go with. But yeah, we're going to find out very, very soon. So in terms of the starting 11, this is what I'm going to go with. And this is based on what I feel Mikel Arteta will pick. Starting off in goal, Leno. Very, very, very straightforward decision. Because I think it's very clear that Alex Runarsson will not be playing in goal. Especially in the Premier League. And you've got to kind of pray on everything at the moment that Leno does not get injured. We're going to go with a 3-4-3 formation as well, by the way. I think that that's something that had worked against Chelsea before. And I think until we can start bringing in more players and getting rid of some of these January time, we just need to get through. Let's get a solid base and we go from there. So the first of the 3, I'm going to go with Rob Holding. And we already said, look, I've said it 100 times, I'd love William, Saliba to be in there and playing, but it's not going to happen, is it? So let's be real about it. Rob Holding will play. If I had to choose between him or Mustafi, then it would be Rob Holding. Mustafi, no chance. For me, doesn't get near this Arsenal team again. He's gone at the end of the season, hopefully in January, in the bin. In the middle of the 3, I'm going to go with David Luiz. And let's hope he puts a good performance in. Against his former side. Let's hope that he actually turns up. And I don't think, recently he's been that bad when called upon and playing. But we don't want the kind of mistakes and the stupidity that he made, when we played at Stamford Bridge and he got sent off. Although I will still say, I think that sending off was harsh. It's double jeopardy. He made a genuine attempt to win the ball. The penalty suffice. And it should have been a yellow card, but that's gone now. So David Luiz. Alongside him, on the left of that 3, I'm going to go with Gabriel, back from suspension. And the one thing that I want to see from this boy is a more commanding performance. Because the last couple of games, he's looked very, very shaky. And it's as though the crap that he trains with is starting to rub off on him. And I really, really hope that that doesn't start. Because he's a talented, talented boy. And I want him to go back to a month ago with those big performances. So no problem with starting him because he's still our best centre-back. But he needs to pick up the level big time. In the wing-back positions, on the right-hand side, Ainsley, Maitland-Niles. Absolutely no doubt in any way, shape or form. Hector Bellerin, for me, does not get near that starting 11. He better not anyway. In the left wing-back position, I'm going to go with Kieran Tierney. And one of the guys that cares. One of the guys that looks like a leader on the pitch. No questions, no doubt for me. Simple. Now the 2 in midfield. I see videos of Thomas Partey back in training, sprinting and all sorts, but he's just not quite ready. And let's be real, we don't want to rush him. And then he breaks down again like he did against Spurs. So let's take our time and, bring him in bit by bit. And I think once January comes around, he will literally be like a new signing. Now remember, this team and the selection is not mine. I actually think that Mikel Arteta will bring Granit Xhaka back in. His suspension is over. And I think you're going to look at a defensive-minded player sitting there. Then I feel that he would choose Saka over El Neni. Now, El Neni over the last few weeks has been absolutely garbage. So you can see why he will do it. Rightly or wrongly, it's going to happen. Now, alongside him, this is where there will be some talking points and who he could play along with him. Now, I'm going to go with Dani Ceballos. I think that's what Mikel Arteta will do. This is the same midfield two that beat Chelsea in the FA Cup final. Let's remember that. So we're going to need that kind of magnitude of performance. That kind of top level performance. Will we see it? That remains to be seen. But that's the kind of performance we need. And that's what I'm going to go with. I don't think Joe Willock's going to go in there. Nah. I'm not having Willian come in there anyway. I'm certainly not putting him on the wings or anything else. You can get to that one already. Willian, for me, doesn't get in this starting 11. I don't care if he's going up against Chelsea or whatever it is. He does not warrant a start in this team in any way, shape or form. So that's what I'm going to go with. Now, the attacking three. First of all, on the left-hand side, I'm going to go with Saka. And a young boy that's grabbing games by the scruff of the neck and actually going out there and showing what it means and really, really cares. I hope that it rubs off on everybody else. I really, really do. On the right of that three, I'm going to go with Martinelli. I have no doubts that he'll be ready for this game after that knock against Manchester City. Start him. It's as simple as that. Played 20 odd minutes against Everton. 45 against Manchester City. He's had an under 23 game as well. You can easily get 70, 75 minutes out of him in this game. And what he brings to this team is just unreal. The pace, the urgency, the energy, the drive, the passion. He's very, very reminiscent to Alexis, in my opinion. Now, I know how it all ended with Alexis and everything else, but the one thing that we did have with Alexis when he was an Arsenal player was just a truly unbelievable world-class player that gave 100% every single game. And Martinelli's got that about him. He's just got that doggedness, that fight and that determination. And he just don't let anybody rest on the pitch. He's like a little dog chasing after a bone. You know them Jack Russells? They're always just nibbling away at people's ankles. That's what he's like. He's just always on your case. I love this boy so much. He's so good. But at the same time, I'm trying not to put too much pressure on his shoulders because it's wrong that we should be heaping everything onto a 19-year-old boy and hoping that he can change our fortunes. But he's that good. And problems are that bad at the moment that we're relying on someone like him. So I've got no doubt he will play. In the middle of that three, I'm going to go with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I think he will be back from his calf strain. Had a couple of weeks out. Last time he did play, he scored, remember. And I think last time out in the Premier League, I think we saw against Everton a couple of chances for Eddie Nketiah. They fall to Aubameyang. They're in the net. There's the difference. Aubameyang can have a quiet game, but you know if the ball falls to him at any given moment, bang, it's in the net. Simple as that, really. And he showed that against Southampton. Didn't have a great game overall, many chances, but the one that fell to him, boom, good night. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. And that is my preview and my starting 11. Let me know what you think about that 11. It's a 3-4-3 formation. Leno holding Luiz and Gabriel. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Granit Xhaka, Dani Ceballos, Kieran Tierney, Martinelli, Aubameyang and Saka. So yeah, let me know in the comments section what you think. Do you agree or disagree? Now remember, it is Christmas Day. So try not to be too harsh in the comments section. Be nice for one day. Come on, man. But yeah, listen, also with Nerf, make sure you get yourself down to the comment section like I was saying. And click the link. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. And like I was saying, keep an eye out for the watch along, which will be on here on this channel today. It will be me because I won't be on AFTV today. So yeah, you can catch me in my home environment to see what I can throw. hopefully the ornaments around the house get moved, and I've only got cushions and stuff like that in my hands. But hopefully I'm throwing them in celebration. That would be nice. So listen, if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.